I'll see you there. Today we do video on G550 AMG. I don't smoke, never mind. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today I have with me the G550 AMG, also known as the G-Wagon to some. This car is an absolute freaking behemoth. There's really nothing else like it on the road, and that's why they still exist. This car came out in the 70s and has been upgraded intermittently throughout the years, and there's no reason why this car, this thing does not make sense in today's marketplace. You've got 417 horsepower coming from a freaking big box V8. You've got, just a stupid amount of ground clearance, 3 different modes for the locking grip differential, and freaking full-size spare tire. There's just everything about this car is just absolutely absurd. You've got these old school style door handles that were on the old school Jeeps back in, the 70s and 80s. The doors sound just percussive whenever you close them. You've got these full-blown, door hinges, and just everything on this car is completely just old school. The way that the windows just round around the outside of the vehicle, this thing is absolutely crazy. And today I actually had the opportunity to take this thing out for about a 30-minute test drive or so, and I got a really good understanding of really what the car's like and if I would actually want to own one or not. I have a unique ability here at BMW Cincinnati North that I get to drive a lot of really cool cars. Things in, anywhere from a regular Mini Cooper to a full-blown BMW X7 at around $110,000 MSRP. I've driven a lot of cool stuff, and the G-Wagon drives unlike anything else that is currently on the market for sale, and I think that's why they still exist. So as you can see here in so this car has been on for about 50 minutes today. My test drive route was about 30 minutes or so long, and I averaged about 13.9 miles per gallon in a world that's becoming slowly more and more obsessed with fuel economy and oops. That sounds so good though. All right, I had to do a little cut because I couldn't find out where the parking brake was. I do try to do all of my car reviews in one take, but unfortunately that was not the case today. I'm going to go over all of the pluses that I love on the interior of this car, and then we're going to take it out for a quick spin. First things first, this car has probably one of the best sound systems that I've ever heard. You got the Burmeister audio inside of the car. It sounds absolutely phenomenal, especially with EDM. And with all of the noise dampening around the car, like everything in this car is double pane glass. It's super duper thick. Sounds, you really can't hear much road noise given the aerodynamics of this vehicle. You've also got very, very comfortable seats. They are extremely adjustable. Over here, you've got ventilation and heating, and then you've got, your headrest is power, your backrest is front back power, your seat slider is power, and then you've also got a little extension piece here that's happy to see you whenever you sit down in the car. It's got a lot of adjustments inside of the vehicle. I also would like to say that the fit and finish of all the materials is really good. The way that the screen seamlessly integrates into the dash looks absolutely amazing. You've got a nice soft touch finish on the dashboard as well. There are a lot of very good things to say about it. You've also got these 3 different differential modes, which is just insane. 4 high, 4 low on a vehicle that's mostly going to be driven on the streets in LA. But that's not the reason I'm making this video today. The reason is going over why this car even still exists. You're starting to have a world of electric vehicles and turbocharged inline 6 cylinders, really just kind of dominating the entire market. Jeep is switching over to a 6-cylinder for a lot of their vehicles on their new Hornet, and I think there's another vehicle that kind of piggybacks off that on the Alpha side. But they're going to an inline 6. The X7's on an inline 6, and then even the XM is a V8 hybrid. This thing is an old school screaming V8 that kind of makes truck noises. My least favorite thing about this car is the exhaust note. The exhaust note is dismal. It might sound loud and good, but all that it really is it sounds like a truck exhaust. I would Silverado 1500s have a better exhaust note than this thing. Another thing that's really cool that I'd mentioned about the seats, the dampers on this car on the corners actually adjust with your turning. So if you're leaning left, the left damper on the seat is going to inflate, and the right damper is gonna, it leans yourself into the corners. this thing handles like a freaking truck. The windows are really cool. If you do, if you're wanting to slowly put them down, you just put your hand on it and you just kind of press and keep it pressed. But if you tap it, it lowers it twice the speed. That is really cool, and I did not know that before this video. Let's take this thing around the block and keep kind of talking about some stuff. It's incredibly slow. You know, the X7 has a similar 0 to 60 time of about 5.1 seconds. This thing's 5.1 seconds, but you're getting a V8, and you've got 13.8 miles per gallon in the miles per gallon test that I tested it. Versus an X7 in that similar range is going to be in that, you know, 19 to 21 miles per gallon range. Road noise accelerating, it sounds really cool. It makes good noises sometimes, but you know, you can get a lot of other cars like an X5M that make better noises. It's just for, you know, $50,000, $60,000 less too. That's where I'm struggling to see the value proposition. But it's a statement. So this thing is really, you know, the BMW is coming out with the BMW XM, and I'm very curious how the new hybrid AMG 550 is going to compete with the all-new XM. The XM is 644 horsepower. This one's 517. 417. The upgraded is 577 out of the G63. But even those don't compare horsepower figure-wise to the X5M, which is a lighter weight vehicle, can handle better, and has better braking. I just don't see the point. The X5M also, though, can't, you know, off-road like this thing is, but who's dumb enough to take a $150,000 car off-roading? The G-Wagon doesn't make sense, and it baffles me that these cars sell as well as they do. During the pandemic, people were buying these for, you know, $20,000 over sticker. And yes, you can't get them, but you couldn't get anything else, and other vehicles weren't selling like that. Built in 1979 and not having many updates since then, I think that there's just the element of the statement, because this thing breaks necks. People drive slow around you or cut you off on the highway because you notice this vehicle. You don't notice an X7 with it blending in with X5s and everything else like that. The technology's cool, the sound system's cool, the old school styling, the matte black paint. I think if you want to be noticed, the G-Wagon is there's no other excuse other than that. The transmission is really cool in this thing. You've got the AMG kind of Mercedes, you know, 9-speed transmission. 9 speeds on a transmission is really cool. It's going to be whisper quiet on the highway, and around town you don't even notice this thing. But another thing I noticed while I was driving it, whenever you have the windows down on the highway, if you don't have them, you know, either almost all the way down or all the way up, the window pane shakes like it's about to shatter. And if you're spending 150 G's, why does it do that? You've got the same mirrors off of probably a GLS. It just, what the heck, man? What the heck? Why does this thing exist? Peep the new M2 in the background over there. It's really cool. It's slow and it burbles, but over my dead body would I ever pay this kind of money for one of these things. The ventilated seats, I do want to say, are pretty banger. If you're looking for a car to basically just be a mobile studio or mobile stereo, this thing makes sense. Other than that, I don't know about it, Chief. But you know, it's got good tech. It's integrating well, and for those who are interested in a G-Wagon, you'll feel right at home inside of this car. But I just don't have anything that I would necessarily compare it to. The Urus by Lamborghini is, you know, right around that same, you know, $170,000, $220,000 kind of price range. I would spend $70,000 more and buy a Lamborghini. You know, it's cool. I'm glad to say that I've driven it so that you don't have to. Thank you guys for watching. Let me know what you guys think about the video in the description. Please make sure that you do smash that subscribe button if you're interested. We're getting close to that 1,000 subscriber mark. And it would mean a lot to me if you guys would do that. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Deuces.